Welcome back to Volvo Ocean Race headquarters. We have seen the conclusion of leg 2, and now it is the turn of Di Cafari and the crew on board Turn the Tide on Plastic to make their way into the harbour and onto the dock. 7,000 miles behind them, Lisbon to Cape Town, and what an unbelievable leg it has been, and such an incredibly close finish coming right the way down to the wire.
It's got to be one of the top 10, top 5, one of the top finishes in the Volvo Ocean Race. You know, previously, the win and second place contrast that we've been looking for when we've been preparing our statistics to just ram home how close this race has been was the previous time, was the previous race in the leg from Itajaí to Newport. That was a sort of 5,000 odd mile leg. With a 3-minute difference between Abu Dhabi Ocean Racing and Dongfeng Race Team. This time now, 1 minute, 8 seconds is a provisional time difference, and it just, you know, as a sailor, I'm flabbergasted. You know, they pushed them all the way to the end, and I'm sure that Di Cafari and her crew are going to be disappointed with that result, but I think that they can take away so many positives that they have. Frankly, just a few months ago, they had people stepping on board that boat and setting off to sail around the world who had never seen a winch before. You've got laser sailors, you've got lots of other small boat sailors, and so to have been able to be swapping positions with an experienced crew like Sunkunkai Scallywag, who David Witt most notably has done 20 Sydney to Hobart races, that classic 600 miler. I think that they can be proud with what they've achieved, even though inevitably they're going to be disappointed.
And they really do stand out for performance-wise, as you say, being a fresh team, or certainly made up from fresh sailors. I think there's 10 sailors, 8 sailors in their lineup who are basically new to offshore sailing, but they should be able to feel pretty proud about their performance out there, because, you know, we talk about it only coming down to the final few miles. That is remarkable to be that close to the rest of the fleet and to be putting on that much pressure and going forward into the next few legs of the Southern Ocean. Skipper Di Cafari, she's no stranger to what it's like racing down there.
No, she knows that well. She's done several races around the world, back and forth through the Southern Ocean, solo and fully crewed. And so she's got plenty of experience to bring to bear, but now we are in Cape Town at the dock.
Well, this is the moment for Di Cafari to savour, with Liz Wardley on the helm at the moment, just parking the Volvo Ocean 65. A very warm welcome for all the crew on board Turn the Tide on Plastic. And the lines are passed over, the boat is made comfortable, and they will be able to step onto dry land for the first time in nearly 21 days after an unbelievably rough leg 2 of this edition of the Volvo Ocean Race. I mean, Conrad, when we talk about difficult starts to an offshore leg, the beginning of leg 2, 30 knots across the deck, absolutely unbelievable. Let's go down now and join in the atmosphere as Turn the Tide on Plastic make their way onto the dock.
We got a front spring on.
Di Cafari, Mike. Skipper of Turn the Tide on Plastic. We're just waiting for the other mic there. Di Cafari, welcome to Cape Town.
Thank you. We're very happy to be here, trust me.
We know you are, and we can see that the smile on your face says it all. Very well done to you. Taking 7th place, I'm pretty sure it's not what you aimed and set out to do. However, phenomenal performance, everyone agrees. And of course, very tight, only a few meters, a few minutes separating you from the next position.
I know, we've just had Scallywag in our sights since the Southern Hemisphere. And that result was not what we deserved. These guys deserved more, and I'm gutted for them. But you wait till we get those Scallies ashore.
Well, a lot of two-boat testing there with the Scallywag, a lot of interesting communication as well, as I understand it. Drones flying to and fro.
Yeah, there's a bit of drone spying and a few suspect AIS and nav-light procedures. We shall be quizzing them over some beers, I'm sure. But we lost 2 miles today to them, and then we got it back to within a couple of boat lengths. So it's, you know, fair play to these guys working hard to make that happen. That's why I just wanted the result to go the other way.
Of course you did, but I want to thank you. A fierce battle there, making for some gripping viewing for the fans and everyone watching the race, watching with bated breath. And of course, phenomenal performance by your crew. You had six sailors on board, as I understand it, that hadn't done much more than a few days of sailing before they head out on this monster. How did they fare?
Well, this is the longest those guys have been at sea. They all got initiated by Neptune. So, you know, it's been a massive transition, this leg. And the sailors I started the leg with are very different to the sailors I finished the leg with. So I'm really confident, really proud of them. They're confident, and we're looking forward to going to leg 3.
Well, you've experienced both extremes, being both solo on the ocean all by yourself, and of course being on a vessel the size with a whole crew on board. Which is more daunting, more challenging?
Definitely managing people, but I'm really happy with these guys. They make my life really easy. I sit with my feet up, slippers on, and they do all the hard work.
Well, speaking of hard work, it is over now. It is time to get on to terra firma and some R&R and family time. Congratulations, welcome.
Well, speaking of family time, the important thing is to get our navigator on a flight home, because unlike any other crew member in the Volvo Ocean Race, he had a baby this leg. So we want to congratulate his wife and thank his wife for giving him to us for this leg, and we're sending him home so he can meet the new baby.
I bet he can't wait to do that. Thank you very much. Welcome, Dee.
Okay. Can you speak to Liz? Huh? Liz. Okay.
Reverse back, Mike.
Okay, two mics, yeah. Let me hold this for you. Okay.
That's it, hold it there. See if you can hold that position there.
What's the thing called again? Okay. All right, can we go?
Yep.
Liz, welcome back to Cape Town, and nice to see you again. I think the last time I saw you, you were just about to attach me to the halyard on SGA and pull me out the mast. That was a while ago. Nice, especially sailing with Dee again, another leg, different boat, but sailing with Dee, it must have been obviously disappointing. You guys would like to have been with the front batch, but a nice crossing of the South Atlantic, and to be with your friend and skipper.
Yeah, well, we had a pretty intense race. We've had about a 5,000-mile match race with Scallywag, and for them to beat us like by so close at the finish line is a bit gutting, as you can imagine. But we had an awesome race. We learnt heaps, and yeah, sailing with Dee again, it's been fun. And coming into Cape Town, as always, was eventful. But you know, awesome backdrop. It's pretty incredible when you finally see land and you just see Table Mountain and everything. It's pretty amazing.
Speaking of coming into Cape Town, I mean, you were part of that situation where you guys caught Mapfre literally in the last few miles, last Volvo Ocean Race. Did yourself and Dee talk about that? That must have been top of mind.
Well, we certainly did, but we also had Nico on board, who was on Mapfre in the last edition. So we were kind of saying, well, we weren't not going to fall into the same trap, and but it was a completely different scenario. But we were pretty nervous coming in.
Last question I've been asked just to put to you. How did Little Wisdom enjoy these last few miles?
Little Wisdom loved it. Little Wisdom's really, you know, found his place on the boat and is loving the ocean miles. Saw a few of his friends out there, so she was pretty happy, and she'll be doing the rest of the race with us.
Thanks very much, Liz. Enjoy the night off and get your feet up, get some rest. Thank you.
Here we go.
Jubilant scenes there on the dock in Cape Town. That is concluding leg 2 with Turn the Tide on Plastic, making it safely to the dockside to be reunited with their supporters and friends and family. So let's have another look at the scores. Let's just see exactly how the ranking is looking at the moment. These are the provisional race overall results after 2 legs from 11. Mapfre, the Spanish team, on course to dominate this race. Skipper Xavi Fernandez will be very pleased to see that 14 points for them on the scoreboard. Vestas 11th Hour Racing, after the win in leg 1, doing equally well, just 1 point behind on 13. Dongfeng Race Team, with Charles Cordrelia being the last boat on the podium. And then a little bit of a gap with Team Axonabel, Team Brunel, Team Sun Hunkai, Scallywag, and of course, Turn the Tide on Plastic, with a little bit of work to do to chase up. Well, if you're lucky enough to get yourself down to Cape Town, we have got plenty of action with you in the race village. We've got the import race on the 8th, and then, of course, leg 3 starts on the 10th. Not a lot of rest here for the sailors, and we're going to leave you with just a little bit of a look at how incredibly close and relentless the action was on leg 2.
Here we go, the start of leg 2 from Lisbon to Cape Town, the iconic leg down into the South Atlantic. It is go, go, go.
It's going to be one of the most epic starts this leg has ever seen. This is what the Volvo Ocean Race is all about.
We are now full speed in 30 to 35 knots wind. It's quite intense.
The more wasting you make, it looks maybe very horrible, the more cheap it is in the end.
A lot of jibing and maneuvers and trying to gain as much waste as possible. And now we are all in a drag race facing south.
The doldrums can, create an awful lot of mix-up, and for sure these leaders are going to start losing miles. So we'll, what we're losing right now, we'll definitely get back a chunk of that, if not more.
We're finally out of the doldrums now, pretty much. The one thing that doldrums has done is brought the fleet back together. I think still just as hard, maybe even harder.
Santa Elena High, we'll jive and go to fight the front, and it's going to be a very good ride all the way to Cape Town. It's going to be 20-25 knots and wind, so hopefully it's fast and good sailing as well.
Finally heading towards Cape Town now. We've managed to get ourselves into the lead now, which is great, but it's a pretty tight battle with Vestas and Dongping and Brunel.